I would like you all to cast your minds back to when you were just 13 years old. That might be a long time for some of you, I know. But for me, I will never forget my 30th birthday, as 1 week prior, I was given a diagnosis of Aspergers Syndrome. Today, I shall be giving a short presentation on my experiences within the criminal justice system. Although before I proceed today, I would just like to extend a big thank you to Rebecca Hyder of Speaking of Difference and to Kate Laird from NAS for giving me this golden opportunity to speak in front of you all today. A person with an autistic spectrum condition may enter the criminal justice system in one of two ways, either as a victim or as an offender. Today I'll be focusing purely from an offender's perspective. Let me make it clear to you all, I am not a hardened criminal. Far from it. Yes, I've had a few brushes with the law, although all my altercations were just minor misdemeanours, which have escalated to criminal charges. And back then, I didn't really have the insight, nor the emotional maturity to help me deal with these situations I found myself in. However, with the correct autism awareness training, these unfortunate incidents needn't have occurred. So let me paint the picture for you. I'm in the job centre. Back then there were absolutely no signs displaying that you could not wear a hood. I've walked in, I spoke to the floor manager, I said, can I use your phone to inquire for potential jobs? He was like, sure, carry on. So I'm on the phone. This big, burly security guard has approached me from behind and told me in broken English, take down your hood. I've just turned to look at him, and the first thing that crossed my mind was, who are you to speak to me like that? You know, I'm on the phone, how rude. So I've turned away and continued with my conversation. Not even a minute had gone by, he's approached me again from behind. This time, forcefully shook my shoulder and told me, take down your hood. Well, that chap got his wish. I slammed that phone down, threw back my hood, and I've just erupted. I've spiralled into a total and utter meltdown. If that gentleman in question had received the correct autism awareness training, that unfortunate situation needn't have occurred. So therefore, heightened anxiety can sometimes lead to aggressive behaviour. My second example of aggressive behaviour is, as I'm sure you will all agree, the public transportation system in this country doesn't really have the best reputation, does it? Let's imagine for a second you've got an important appointment to keep and the train is delayed or cancelled. How would that make you feel? Just throw a few words in my direction. Well, don't be shy. Cross, great word. Anyone else? Irritated, brilliant word. One more? Angry, superb word. If I was going to put myself in a neurotypical mind, perhaps I might grumble to myself, or maybe even moan with the other passengers. I'm confident none of you good people here today would dare make a scene in that situation and draw attention to yourself. Can I get a no, Alex?
No.
Thank you. In my teenage years, I was an angry youth. I was in complete denial about my condition. If the train was delayed or cancelled, my anxiety would just go straight through the roof. I would vent my frustration at the train staff. I understand now that it wasn't their fault, although at that time I truly believed it was. A lot of people on the spectrum have a black and white way of thinking, or as I like to call it, the domino effect, so there is barely any grey area. In my mind, I just thought, you are driving the train, therefore it is your responsibility to make sure it runs to time. I took a deeply political stance regarding public transport. I deemed it expensive, unreliable, dirty, so the ticket price didn't reflect the service that was being provided. So I never bothered to purchase a train ticket. And as you can imagine, many confrontations did occur. Personal experience of what happened to me at the police station, which highlights literal thinking. As a result of the job centre incident, which I referred to earlier, I was arrested by 2 female police officers. I was 18 years old at the time. And the first thing that went through my mind was, blimey, they're well fit. It's true. At the station, I didn't disclose my condition. And because those pretty officers were stood either side of me, I didn't want to embarrass myself or humiliate myself. I mean, yes, that is quite amusing. However, it had serious implications by not disclosing right at the start. I lost all my rights as a vulnerable adult. At the station, I was told if I answered their questions, I'd be free to go. I tried to answer to the best of my ability, but I didn't really understand what was being said to me. It was just going whoosh, straight over my head. All I was thinking, folks, was, I just want to get out of here. After the interview was over, I was at the custody desk. I was informed I'd been officially charged and bailed to attend court. I was shocked beyond belief. They had told me I was free to go if I answered their questions. They never mentioned anything about attending court. And at that time, folks, I felt I'd been completely and utterly duped. Although now looking back with a wiser head, I can see this big misunderstanding was down to literal thinking. I did not realise the consequences of going through an interview without legal representation or an appropriate adult. Second example of literal interpretation. I was going through a police interview for the first time with a solicitor present. She told me to answer no comment to the police officer's questions. I was then asked to give my name. Would anyone in the audience like to hazard a guess as to what my response was? No comments, absolutely right. She looked at me in absolute astonishment, probably thinking to herself, what has happened to that young, eloquent, smart young man I met earlier? I think he's been abducted. She had expected me to read between the lines, obviously. What she should have said at the start, now Alex, give your name and date of birth to all subsequent questions, then answer no comments. And the lyrics I've selected are something that I penned for my psychologist who specialises in autism. Unfortunately for me, he's now moved on to pastures new. I find writing therapeutic, just to get down your thoughts and feelings. In some ways, it's a little bit like a diary, only a lot cooler. I've entitled it The Good Doctor, so sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. I've witnessed the darkness, my mind whirling like an unstoppable tornado spin. Trust me, I've been on the brink of death. I wouldn't hesitate to jump straight in. You were the air that kept me alive. When I could barely breathe, I felt dead inside. I broke down in your presence, and you consoled me as I cried. You resurrected me, helped me to battle through that immense emotional pain. As the weeks passed, slowly but surely, my smile, it came back again. You have taught me a different, logical way of thinking. I now have the correct tools and strategies, so I don't wander down that lonely, destructive path of gambling and drinking. Perhaps you are not blessed with a booming voice. However, your actions truly speak louder than any words. You've achieved the near impossible. A professional who has gained my admiration and total respect. God bless you, Carl. May I forever be in your debt. I thought I was born with a silver tongue. That wasn't until I met you. I knew that silky smooth Irish tone. Only took me a few months to fully understand what you were saying to us on the phone. You've given me a fresh set of eyes, able to see the world clearly. I no longer feel lost and confused. Best of luck in your new post. Don't be a stranger. And in return, this kid will knuckle down hard and stay clear of any potential danger. Please never forget how much change, confidence and optimism you have given to those unique people on the spectrum of autism. You shall leave a lasting legacy. Colm, you have been instrumental in helping me to rebuild my life. You are more than a mentor. more than inspirational. Most importantly of all, you're a loyal and trusted friend. Thank you.